Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee. And today I'm going to give you a very nice bread recipe. We're going to make some French baguettes today. However, I'm making these individual size, but this recipe, you can use it for your French baguettes. You can make one big loaf of French bread, or excuse me, 2 loaves of French bread. You can use it for hot dog buns. You can use it for breadsticks. You can use it for like the little hoagie sandwich buns. You can use it for hamburger buns. It's very versatile. It's a beautiful recipe and I know you're going to love it. So let's get busy with it. We got a few things we're going to do today, but this has to rise for a couple hours. So we're going to get this done and out of the way. And then after this, we've got a whole boatload of Buttermilk Biscuits that I want to make for the freezer, because in my freezer, in my kids' freezers as well, we have the hamburger gravy and we have the sausage gravy. So I want to make these biscuits so that they can have the homemade biscuits to go with all that. My husband loves them too. Plus we're going to bake some off for my husband today. So anyway, with this recipe, I've got 2 cups of very warm water. Now, if you want to make a load of these, you're more than welcome to double this recipe. This is the single recipe. I'm not doubling it. So we're going to add 1 tablespoon of yeast. Okay. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of sugar. I am somebody that I love baking bread. I've baked bread since I was in my early 20s and I love baking bread. Okay, we're going to need 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Alright, now we want to let that proof. I'm using the instant yeast, and instant yeast needs to proof. But I'm going to give that a little bit of a mix. Now it calls for a tablespoon of salt, but I always hold off on the salt until I add my flour, and I just add the salt on top of the flour. So that's going to proof, and as soon as I see that it's coming to life, I can go ahead and start adding to it. So while that's getting ready to come to life, I'm going to set these aside because I know I will be using those later. I won't use my yeast anymore. And that will start in a minute. I'm going to rinse this off so that I can use it for my salt. All you need to do is just wait. You know, if you need to do other things, you can wait 5-10 minutes. You know for sure, if it's not coming to life in 10 minutes, it's not going to. But usually it starts within the first couple minutes, it starts activating. And you'll see it, it'll bloom along the top, like it's growing. We'll just get this ready. And there it goes, it's alive. Okay, so I can start adding my flour. We're going to do 6 cups of flour. You can use bread flour or you can use all-purpose flour. I don't want to lose count. Okay, now I want to tell you something before we go on. That was my 1 tablespoon of salt. all my flour in here. It just really depends on the humidity in your home, you know, whether it's raining outside, the weather. It really depends whether you're going to need more flour or less flour. You know, when it comes to bread, it really is a forgiving recipe. If you need to add a little more fluid, add a little more water to it. If it's too wet and you need to add, you know, more flour to it, go right ahead. Because I know I've had a few comments where people have said, I followed your recipe to the T and my dough is just so sticky. It could be. I don't know where you're at. You know, I don't know if it's humid outside, if it's raining. You know, it just really depends. And just add more flour to it. It's not going to hurt it. Just add it until you have a soft, supple dough. Now, don't add too much. Don't add like cups at a time. You want to add about a tablespoon at a time, and until you get it to where it needs to be. And it'll work beautiful. Alright, so we got that all in there. I'm going to turn this on, but I'm also going to turn the camera off first. I'm just going to let this mix, and when it's done, when it's all incorporated, I'm going to let it continue to mix for 5 minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay, friends. Oh, this is beautiful dough. Take a look at that. That's what you want. Nice. Let me set this aside. We're going to oil this up. Put a little bit of oil in your bowl. I'm just going to kind of form this, it's beautiful, into a ball. That is beautiful dough. Okay. Gorgeous. See how nice and soft that is? Alright, twirl it around in here. Flip it over. I'm going to put a shower cap on this, and this is going to sit off in the corner of the kitchen for about 2 hours because it's going to need to double in size. So we'll set it over here. So now that we got the French bread dough rising, I want to get to making the buttermilk biscuits. And I don't have buttermilk. I never have buttermilk. So, let me mix this up real quick. What I do is I make a substitute, and it's called clabbered milk. Clabbered milk is fermented milk, sour milk, you know, that allows to be soured over a period of time. Well, we're doing this quick, fast, and in a hurry, so substitute for that is lemon juice or vinegar. So, first off with this, I'm going to pour, it doesn't have a quarter on there, I'm going to pour a 1/4 cup of lemon juice in here. More than that, there we go. And then I'm going to fill it to 2 cups with milk. Okay. And then we're just going to let that set aside. There we go. Now we're just going to set this over here, and you'll see how thick that's going to get. Right next to our butter. Alright, so in my bowl, I'm going to do 4 cups of flour. Now you can double this. I'm not going to double this today. I'm going to make more, but I'll make more off camera. We want 4 cups of flour, and that's 4. And we want 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Oh, look at my tablespoons out here. We want 2 tablespoons of baking powder in there. And I'm going to set these over here so they're out of the way when I'm done. Then I want 1 teaspoon of baking soda. and then 2 teaspoons of salt. All right. Now, I am just going to whisk this together. Give it a nice whisk or stir, mix it up real good. Okay, now that that's mixed, I'm going to cut my butter up and hopefully I have 2 pastry cutters. I have one that's like this old-fashioned, the old-fashioned wire one, and then I have this fairly solid one with the blades on it. This is the one you're going to want to use, the heavier one for your biscuits. Works out better. All right, we're going to cut this butter up in small pieces and break it up in there with my pastry cutter. And you're going to want to break it up enough to resemble like coarse cornmeal. And this butter gets stuck underneath the wrapper. There we go. Try not to handle it any more than you have to because it'll warm it up and you don't want that to happen. Okay? Put it all in there. Alright, so we're just going to break this up in here really good. This will take a minute. Okay. We got that all set. It's all crumbled up in there. Take off your blades. And you can see there's still a few chunks in here. It's going to be beautiful. Alright. Now we're going to take our buttermilk and we're going to dump that all right in there. Our clabbered milk. And we're going to mix this just until it comes together. If you roll it from the bottom to the top, then you'll get the crumbs on the bottom. Okay. One more time there. I got that pretty good. Alright, I'm just going to put a little bit of flour right there. Put a little bit of flour on my board. Somehow my camera shut off when I was rolling the last ones out. Yeah, I just discovered it. So we're going to put some flour and be generous with it because these tend to be sticky. Okay. We will try this again, and my camera's rolling. We're just going to roll this over itself. And it will come together beautifully. Okay. All right. So we're going to flatten this out. I don't use a rolling pin at all. But we are, let me get this on here, we're going to fold this over. This folding it over is what's going to give you your layers, your beautiful layers in there. Okay? Alright, now just a little more flour on there. It's still a little sticky. Now we're going to start spreading this dough out. There's beautiful chunks of butter still in here. Okay. We'll try this again. You're going to push down and bring up. Don't twist. Down, up. Down and up. Down and up. See that gorgeous biscuit? Okay, these are going to sit on this tray right here. I'm going to put these fairly close together. These are beautiful. When you push down on your biscuit, you don't want to twist, because that will make them like rise funny. They'll rise, but they'll be funny shaped, and you don't want that. We're just going to pat this out one more time here. Get a few more biscuits. And we'll bake a few of these off as well. Let's see, I can do one. I got my pan right here. I got room for 7 of them, so here's another one. We'll put that in there. All right. And we'll make this last one into one. Okay. Now we can go in the freezer. All right, so these will bake 350 degrees for about 18 to 22 minutes. And we'll show you how those turn out. I'm going to get these in the freezer, clean up my mess, get these baked, and we'll see you in a minute. Okay. Look at how nice these turned out. Beautiful, eh?
Yes.
And I put a little bit of butter on the top of them after I took them out of the oven. Oh, they're gorgeous. Nice. You can bake these right from frozen. 350 degrees in your oven for 25 minutes, right out of the freezer. That'd be beautiful. Look at that. That look good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try this half. See how good they are. Mmm.
Oh yes, they're good, friend.
You know what? Mmm. Those would be good with your biscuits and gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Mmm.
Yes, they would.
All right. Those are good. You want more?
No, okay.
Mmm. Okay. We're going to go enjoy the rest of our biscuit. Our dough for our French bread isn't done rising yet. But when it is, we will get that going and get our little French baguettes made. Okay, our dough is risen. Look, it's beautiful. Now we're going to make our baguettes. I got my paper over here, or my tray with my paper on it. I'm going to weigh these because I want these to be pretty much the same size. So we're just going to dump this out here. We don't need any flour because that's not sticky dough. But I'm going to weigh these like 3.5 ounces each. That's perfect. The same. Alright, I'll set this over here so I can wash it off. These are easy. We're just going to flatten these out. We're going to roll them. And pinch them. See the size of that? We're going to go right on our tray here. Okay, flatten them out. We're going to roll them. There we go. There's our little French baguettes. Now, you can, these are going to go in my freezer. I'm not going to bake any of these. You can, when you do bake these, oh, I got to fix this one. We don't want them breaking. Okay. When you do bake these, you just got to let them sit out on your counter for their second rise. Take them out of your freezer, put them on your counter, just, you know, leave them there, cover them up, leave them there till they're at least doubled in size because they'll need to rise a second time. It's going to take them a little bit because they're frozen. Don't just put them right in your oven. So after they rise, then you're going to put them in a 350 degree oven for about, I want to say 18 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven. So that's it, friends. That's how easy it is to do, and we need to fix this one. This one's going to come unglued. We'll fix him right away. And then I need to get these in the freezer so they don't rise up anymore. Alright, I'm going to go get these in the freezer and I shall be back. I know a lot of you probably already know how to make fry bread, or the Indian fry bread, or the elephant ears. It's got many names. I always call it elephant ears because I usually make it quite big because my grandkids just love it. Many of you probably already know how to make this, but I've got a few friends from the UK who have asked me to please do a video on that because they don't think they've ever had that. So here we go. This is for them. And any of you who've never made these before, these are easy, and you can put toppings on them. You can use them for tacos, for sandwiches, for just put a little bit of butter on them. My family loves them when I make bean soup. I'll make some fry bread with just a little butter on it, and they love it with the soup. But anyway, with that being said, we're going to start this, because this is going to have to sit and rest for about a half hour or so. And we want 2 cups of flour. Okay. 1 teaspoon salt. And then 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And water, and that's all it is. Very, very simple. And I got 1 cup of very hot water. So we'll give this a mix till it comes together, which doesn't take long at all. Okay, we got it right there. And we're just going to cover that up and let it rest. I'm not going to knead it. I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm just going to leave it and let it rest. Okay, friends. I've got my pan of oil on the stove heating up. And we're going to move over to this section in a little bit. I just want to pat these out. When I make these different every time. And a lot of times when I make them, if there's a lot of people here, I'll make them thin because my grandkids love them that way, thin and crispy. But my husband likes them a little thicker. So I'm going to make these ones just a little bit thicker for us. And I'm just going to pat them out. I'm just going to divide them in 2 and pat them out. Beautiful dough. Okay. Okay, that one's good. So all you do is just, that one needs a little bit of flour. Okay. There. Okay, those are ready. I just have to get that heated up and move you over here by my stove, and we'll get these cooking. Okay, friends, here we go. This one's ready to go in. And it's going to cook about 2 minutes on each side. Beautiful. I just cook one at a time too. You can't see me too well. I just cook them one at a time. While that's cooking, I'm going to put this away. Then I won't have so much of a mess to clean up. Want that a little bit hotter. You won't see me, but you'll see what's in the pan. I want you to see what's in here. Look, see how beautiful that is? Cook a couple minutes on that side, and then it'll be done. Oh, I think that's just about done. That's beautiful. I want it a little bit darker. So I'd say this is good. That's going to sit right there. Okay, here's the next one going in. There we go. That's how easy it is to make those. You can make them, and they're good in the freezer. They're freezer friendly. And if you've got a microwave, that is the best way to heat them back up, because they'll get nice and soft again. I find that when you put them in the oven, or at least when I put them in the oven, they tend to get a little hard. So my daughter and my son and everybody puts them in the microwave. And I'm over here wiping my table off while that's cooking. Woo! That happens sometimes, friends. There we go. Beautiful. Take a look at that. These are lovely. My husband will love this. It's close to dinner time. Yes, it's 5 o'clock. And I'm done here, and we will have some dinner, and we'll have this with dinner. Too bad I didn't make bean soup today. These are wonderful with bean soup. I want the underside in there to get done a little bit better. Alright, I'm just going to turn my burner off. And I say that's done enough. I'm just going to let them drain there for a few. And I'll be able to put some butter on them, and they'll be good. Well, okay, friends, there we have it. We did a few nice things in here. We've got biscuits, buttermilk biscuits for the freezer. These are already frozen. It's only been about an hour. We've got, these aren't quite frozen yet, but I brought them back out to take a picture. These are our French baguettes. They're going to be wonderful for your freezer. I showed you fry bread, and we baked some buttermilk biscuits, and those three is all that's left. Mr. Wayna loves them. So I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me in the kitchen. I sure love the fact that you guys are with me every day in my videos. Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful day. Give these recipes a try. They're wonderful for your freezer. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.